Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Sleepy Facts, a quiet corner of the world where stories drift like soft tides and learning arrives as gently as a breath in the dark. I'm grateful you're here tonight, settling into a space where you can loosen your thoughts and rest inside the calm rhythm of a long, peaceful journey through the wonders of our living world. There is nothing you need to hold on to and nothing you need to do except allow the night to open around you as softly as a slow unfolding dream. Let us drift together. Take a slow breath and another as the world grows quieter, and like a rising moon through a thin veil of clouds, let this story begin to glow around you. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a vast, ancient ocean. The air is cool on your skin, and the sky above you is dim and tender, its colors softened by the hush of early night. The waves move with the patience of centuries, rolling in and retreating again, unhurried, carrying fragments of memory in every swell. As you listen, you feel something older than thought stir gently beneath the surface, a sense that life itself began in places like this, not in bright daylight and warm shallows, but deep below, far beyond where sunlight can reach. In your mind's eye, the sea floor opens into darkness, the world growing cold and silent until only the faint shimmer of minerals remains. There, in the hidden chambers of the earth, water meets stone, heat meets pressure, and something miraculous begins. From tall chimneys of rock, strange porous towers shaped by volcanic breath, scalding water pours into the blackness, rich with elements drawn from the planet's molten heart. And within those mineral walls, tiny pockets form, warm, protected, filled with the right ingredients for something new to take shape. In this dreamlike drift through time, you can almost see simple molecules brushing against each other, finding patterns, learning slowly to assemble like notes in an ancient melody, discovering their harmony. Scientists believe that in these deep, dark places, life may have first awakened, not beneath gentle sunlit ponds, but within the cradle of heat and stone, where chemistry whispered the first lines of a story that would stretch billions of years into the future. Even now, if you let your thoughts glide downward, you can imagine those vents alive with strange glowing creatures who do not need the sun at all. They gather around the chimneys like stars drawn to warmth, feeding on the earth's energy, turning minerals into sustenance, their entire existence woven from darkness and fire. This is where our journey begins, in the depths, in the stillness, in the very first chapter of the long dream of life. And as this dream unfolds, you may notice how life holds resilience in forms we rarely imagine. Like the tiny frogs of frozen forests, creatures that allow winter to still their hearts until even the flow of their blood goes quiet. Their bodies freeze as if carved from ice, yet inside delicate cells are protected by natural sugars, the earth's own antifreeze. When spring arrives and the thaw begins, the frogs awaken as though pausing and unpausing their lives with a simple rhythm of the seasons. Other beings drift through existence without ever glimpsing the sun at all. Entire worlds bloom in underwater darkness. Blind crabs, ghostly fish, giant tube worms painted in pale reds and whites, living solely on the chemistry that pours from the deep sea vents. They do not know light, yet they thrive. Their ecosystems are built not on photosynthesis, but on something quieter, a deep mineral breath from the Earth's core. And still, some creatures have learned to endure the unendurable. Tiny tardigrades, little water bears with soft wrinkled bodies, curl into a state where life nearly stops. Dried out, frozen, heated, even exposed to the cold vacuum of space, they remain intact, waiting only for a touch of water to spring back into motion. It is as though they carry a secret, a whisper of the universe's persistence, held inside their fragile forms. Life has drifted through ages like a wandering dream. Jellyfish, soft pulsing beings with no hearts and no bones, have floated through our oceans for more than 500 million years. Older than trees, older than dinosaurs, their bodies glow softly in the night, riding currents like lanterns from another time. To watch them pulse is to feel the slow heartbeat of deep history, a gentle reminder that endurance can be elegant, almost effortless. Some organisms do not merely survive in stone, they eat it. Deep beneath the crust, tiny microbes scavenge electrons directly from minerals, feeding on iron, sulfur, even uranium. They carve out invisible galleries within the rock, changing the chemistry of a world far older than any forest or ocean. When you picture these hidden miners, you might imagine them glimmering faintly in the silent dark, a colony of life thriving where almost nothing else can. And as the dream continues, age stretches outward like a long breath. There are trees whose lives span thousands of years, clonal forests where every stem, every leaf is part of one ancient being. In cold Arctic waters, fields of seagrass have persisted for more than 10 millennia, growing and renewing themselves, while generations of humans rose and faded. To stand among such beings, even in imagination, is to feel time move differently, measured not in years, but in the slow, deep rhythms of the earth. Beneath your feet, vast networks of fungus spread like quiet cities. A single organism can reach across kilometers, its filaments weaving through the soil like threads stitching together the fabric of a forest. Though unseen, these hidden giants guide nutrients, digest wood, and connect entire ecosystems into a living tapestry. And even within your own body, there's a crowd, a community of microbes as numerous as your human cells. They live in your skin, your lungs, your stomach, in the gentle folds and hidden corners. They help you digest, support your immune system, influence your energy, your mood. You are not just an individual, but an ecosystem, a constellation of life moving as one. Each part of this vast dream speaks to the same quiet truth that life is never singular, never solitary. It thrives by connecting, by adapting, by finding possibility in places that seem impossible. And so the mind drifts to places where life glows from within, soft lights shimmering through ocean darkness, jellyfish drifting like pale stars, tiny microbes illuminating fish from inside, like living lanterns. We drift through coral kingdoms, built grain by grain, by creatures no larger than a bead, reefs that rise slowly, beautifully, until they become entire underwater cities, filled with motion and color. In the forests above them, fireflies gather in warm night air, syncing their tiny pulses until whole groves thrum with golden rhythm, as though the land itself were breathing light. And in the highest branches, birds sense the world in ways hidden from us. Some feel the pull of Earth's magnetic lines, guiding them across continents with unerring grace. Others mimic every sound they hear: chainsaws, camera shutters, the calls of the forest, turning the world into music. Tonight the dream is long and the world is wide, and every breath you take carries atoms from all that has lived before leaves, birds, stars. Let yourself sink deeper into this quiet unfolding. Drifting softly from the last thought, the dream carries you deeper into the quiet weave of life, where each creature, each pattern seems to rise gently from the fabric of the earth and settle again like a feather laid upon still water. In the hush of this unfolding journey, the ocean returns not as a roaring force, but as a calm, endless presence, a place where creatures speak in currents and color. Here, beneath the waves, the world reveals adaptations so delicate, so unexpected, that they feel like whispers from another realm. You may imagine tiny shrimp whose snapping claws release bursts of energy hotter than the surface of the sun, an instant of fire born underwater, hidden in a bubble too small to see. The crackling chorus of thousands of these shrimp echoes like a quiet storm beneath the sea, reminding you how even the smallest beings hold immense power. And nearby, blind fish drift through caves where sunlight never enters. Their eyes, once windows to a brighter world, have faded to pale memories, while their sense of touch has grown into something more fluid, more attuned to the subtle motion of water and stone. It is here in darkness that life learns a new way to see. Above them, in the thick forests of the land, creatures make choices stranger still. Some fish in hidden coral beds shift their very identities, changing from one sex to another as fluidly as the tide changes direction. It is not confusion, but harmony, a way to keep their communities in balance, a quiet correction that ensures life goes on. Others, like the axolotl, carry renewal within their bodies. If harmed, they can regrow what was lost: limbs, organs, even parts of their brain, as naturally as leaves returning in spring. You may picture them resting in calm waters, their feathery gills drifting like soft plumes, their faces always appearing to smile as though they know a secret the rest of the world has forgotten. That healing can be a gentle, effortless act. And in cold winter, ponds, frogs slip into a silence so deep they do not breathe for months at a time. Their bodies slow, their energy dwindles, yet still they endure, waiting for warmth to return and carry them back into motion. Traveling farther through this quiet night, you might picture glowing lanterns moving through the ocean's twilight zone, sharks with shimmering undersides, casting soft light as they glide. Their glow is not for spectacle, but survival camouflage that blends them into the faint brightness above, so predators below cannot see their silhouettes. Even hunters carry illumination when the deep demands it. And there, in icy waters, far to the north, swims the Greenland shark, unhurried, ancient. Its life unfolds across centuries, its body moving with the slow certainty of deep time. Some of these sharks were alive before telescopes had shown humans the stars from which their atoms came. To sense such a creature is to feel age expand like a vast horizon. Life after life, the dream widens. Goldfish and carp wait out winter beneath frozen lakes, living without oxygen for weeks, building their own quiet chemistry to survive what others cannot. Lungfish burrow deep into mud when rivers disappear, curling into slick cocoons to sleep through years of drought. When rain finally returns, they awaken and emerge as though waking from a patient dream, unchanged and unhurried. And some eels, mysterious as old myths, migrate thousands of kilometers to a single place in the wide ocean, the Sargasso Sea, to spawn their young. For centuries, humans searched for the truth of their journey, following only whispers and shadows until the path slowly revealed itself. Even now, their story feels like something told in riddles, a secret kept by tides. Beneath coral reefs, where the water turns warm and clear, parrotfish build translucent sleeping cocoons, each night a shimmering bubble of mucus that protects them from scent-hunting predators. Inside they drift into stillness, wrapped in a delicate veil, as fragile as a dream itself. Nearby, seahorses sway with the current, anchoring themselves with curling tails. In their tiny world, it is the male who carries the young, cradling them in a warm pouch until the moment of birth, when he releases miniature versions of himself into the water in a flurry of shimmering life. It is tender and strange and beautiful. Across the surface of ponds, water striders dance lightly, their long legs spreading their weight across the tension of the water. They move like shadows, gliding over a mirrored world, never breaking the fragile surface beneath them. All along the edges of deserts and forests, tardigrades, indestructible in their softness, sleep in hidden pockets of moss and soil. They endure radiation, freezing the vacuum of space, and still awaken when touched by the simplest gift, a little water. Life again and again shows its quiet brilliance. In harsh, sun-blasted deserts, some algae hide inside rocks, living behind translucent layers of stone, where slivers of light and mist can still reach. Their existence is delicate, yet enduring, a reminder that life does not ask for comfort, only for possibility. Lichens cling to cliffs and branches, not plants, not fungi, but partnerships, two beings woven into one. Together, they colonize barren places, turning rock into soil grain, by grain patient as time. Even in the dark water-filled cracks deep beneath the earth, bacteria breathe metals using iron and manganese, the way humans use oxygen. They glow faintly in your imagination, their world tiny but persistent, their chemistry reshaping stone over millions of years. And in the places shaped by humans, where plastic drifts through oceans and land microbes have already begun to evolve ways of breaking it down. Slowly, imperfectly, but undeniably, life adapts turning even our most stubborn creations into sustenance. Above, the soil trees send messages through fungal threads, quiet pulses of chemistry guiding nutrients and warnings from root to root. A forest is not a collection of individuals, but a single breathing community, its members whispering to one another beneath the ground. Plants, still as they appear, are full of subtle wisdom. When insects chew their leaves, some plants release faint perfumes into the air, warning the neighbors of danger on the breeze. Others count touches, waiting for just the right number before snapping shut around their prey. Even memory exists in leaf and stem, held not in neurons, but in tiny shifts of chemistry that allow them to respond to what they've learned before. In bamboo forests, stalks grow with such determination that some stretch nearly a meter in a day, a reminder of how swiftly life can move when the conditions are right. And deep in tropical jungles, the Titan arum rises like a living tower, unfurling a blossom, taller than a person. Its scent a bold, strange lure for the insects that will carry its pollen forward. Nearby, orchids play delicate tricks, shaping their petals into illusions that draw in male insects seeking mates. Deception becomes survival, and survival becomes art. In cool caves, you may picture seeds resting in ancient soil seeds, so old that they remember forests long vanished beneath ice. Some are thousands of years dormant, holding the quiet blueprint of life until the world becomes ready again. And along warm tropical shores, mangroves stretch their roots into brackish water, filtering salt and nurturing whole nurseries of fish among their tangled branches. Through every landscape, burned grasslands that sprout anew after fire reefs built by tiny coral polyps, clownfish sheltered within stinging anemones, cleaner fish tending to their neighbors. You see the ways life cooperates, rebuilds, and flourishes. In the open sea, sharks glide without rest, their bodies needing the steady flow of water over their gills to breathe. Even sleep becomes motion, a drifting half-dream in the endless blue. And on moonlit beaches, newborn sea turtles crawl toward the glow on the horizon, guided by starlight, an instinct older than memory. From here, the dream continues onward, carrying you deeper into the quiet brilliance of the living world. As the story flows onward, the dream deepens, carrying you gently into the more hidden corners of the living world, places where adaptation becomes art and survival becomes something quiet and elegant. So much of life unfolds in silence, in motions too small to notice, in rhythms so ancient they feel like the heartbeat of the planet itself. In the cold southern oceans, penguins slip through icy waves with bodies shaped like arrows, drinking salt water without hesitation. Their secret rests above their eyes, tiny glands that strain the salt from their blood, letting them thrive in a world where fresh water is scarce. Each shake of their head sends tiny droplets of brine sprinkling through the air like a shimmer of stars cast off their beaks. Far above them, some birds rest in ways that seem impossible. Great frigate birds gliding for weeks over open oceans sleep, with only half their brains, at a time the other half watching the wind, the water, the endless horizon beneath their wings. Their dreams unfold in fragments, feathers drifting through sky, while minds linger in a gentle twilight between waking and sleep. And beyond them, albatrosses carve sweeping arcs across the air, riding invisible currents with almost no effort. With wings spanning wider than a person, is tall they glide for hours without flapping, letting the wind bear their weight as they cross oceans that stretch farther than the eye or the mind can follow. Their journey spans continents, their home, the open sky, their rest, found in drifting stillness above waves. In smaller jewel-bright bodies, hummingbirds blaze with life. Their hearts beat faster than thought, more than 1,000 times each minute, fueling wings that blur into invisible sound. They hover like living stars, sipping nectar from flower after flower, their energy burning like a tiny sun. Yet at night, when the world cools and quiets, they slip into a state of torpor, their heartbeat slowing their warmth, dimming their bodies, falling into a deep stillness to conserve their delicate reserves. Even fire learns to rest. Across forests, birds create their own rituals of wonder. Birds of paradise shape the air with dances so intricate they seem choreographed by dreams. Feathers unfurl into circles, fans and ribbons, colors bright enough to pierce the dusk. Males dance with earnest precision, a step, a hop, a careful tilt of the head, as females watch with calm discernment, choosing the dancer whose movements carry the deepest echo of life. And in the forested hills of Australia, lyrebirds mimic the world around them with uncanny clarity. Their voices mirror the songs of other birds, the crack of branches, the whir of cameras, even the startling buzz of chainsaws. Each sound becomes part of their courtship repertoire, woven into a long, mesmerizing display that fills the forest with echoes of natural and human music alike. High in the Arctic tern traces migrations longer than any other creature on Earth. Each year, it travels from one pole to the other, chasing continuous daylight across the curve of the planet. Tiny wings carry it over storms and seas, through seasons and hemispheres, across distances so vast that in a lifetime it flies the equivalent of several trips to the moon and back. Light becomes its compass, distance its language. And in the quiet air that gathers between earth and sky, tiny spiders release threads of silk to catch the wind, ballooning into the open air as though lifted by an unseen hand. Some drift for miles, others rising so high they weave themselves among distant clouds. The sky holds more travelers than we ever realize. Closer to the ground, orb weaver spiders spin silk finer than hair, yet stronger than steel by weight. Their webs glisten in dew like delicate constellations stretched between branches. Every night they weave new designs, each thread placed with patient certainty in a pattern older than human history. Below them, trapdoor spiders build hinged homes lined with silk secret chambers beneath the earth, where they wait in absolute stillness. Their doors blend perfectly with soil and leaf, opening in a flash when prey passes, then closing again, as though nothing had stirred at all. Not all of nature's strategies are gentle. Some wasps, elegant in form, yet unsettling in behavior, turn other creatures into living vessels for the young. A careful sting, a subtle manipulation, and the host becomes docile, drawn to protect the larvae as though they were its own charge. This eerie thread of evolution reminds us that survival takes many shapes, not all of them comforting, yet all of them deeply, undeniably real. Within a hive, bees dance in circles and figure eights, sharing the location of flowers through the quiet language of movement. The waggle dance, simple, ancient, extraordinarily precise guides. Thousands of foragers across kilometers, all united by the soft hum of collective purpose. And in rainforests shimmering with mist, certain frogs carry their tadpoles on their backs, climbing carefully from ground to canopy. Each tiny pool in a leaf becomes a nursery, a place for new life to float in sheltered water. Both parents tend to them, the mother returning to feed them with unfertilized eggs, offering nourishment from her own body, so her young can grow. More startling still is the Suriname toad, whose young develop beneath the skin of her back. Her flesh forms small chambers where eggs rest and transform. And when the time comes fully formed, toadlets emerge from the honeycomb of her skin, not grotesque, but strangely tender, a maternal act carved by evolution into something unforgettable. And in the soothing green of cloud forests, glass frogs rest on leaves with bodies so transparent you can see their hearts beating like small lights within them. Their organs shimmer faintly through their bellies as though they were made of living rain. On the dry desert floor, horned lizards perform a defense as surprising as it is effective, shooting thin streams of blood from the corners of their eyes to startle predators and deter threats with a sudden iron-scented burst. It is dramatic, yes, but it works a reminder that even the unexpected has its place in the vast theater of life. In the rainforests of Central America, the basilisk lizard sprints across water as though defying the rules of the world. Its feet slap the surface just long enough to create pockets of air, carrying it forward in a dazzling run before it sinks beneath, darting into shadow. For a moment, it becomes a creature of myth, a tiny miracle skimming the liquid mirror. And weaving through branches overhead, snakes flatten their bodies and glide through the air, undulating gently as they drift from tree to tree. They are ribbons caught on wind-living movements shaped by centuries of patient adaptation. On islands of rugged earth, Komodo dragons stalk quietly, their venom slowing the hearts of prey, their heavy bodies moving with a primordial certainty, as though carrying echoes of ancient worlds. At the river's edge, crocodiles lie still as stone, their hearts slowing to conserve energy. They wait motionless through heat and through hunger, trusting the perfected patience that has kept their lineage alive for over 200 million years. Their stillness is not laziness, but precision, a mastery of endurance. In shadowed rivers, electric fish whisper to one another with pulses of electricity, messages carried through water in tiny, invisible patterns. These signals reveal shape-distance intention, a language felt rather than heard. Deeper still, Electric eels generate bolts powerful enough to stun horses, their bodies, designed like living batteries, stacked cell upon cell. They navigate the darkness by weak electrical fields and defend themselves with strong ones, a graceful balance of subtlety and force. Lights glimmer in the deep ocean from fish carrying colonies of glowing bacteria, symbiotic lanterns that help them hide, hunt, and speak to one another in flashes of living brightness. Some switch their lights on and off, sending signals through water like drifting Morse code. Nearby, squid shimmer with colors that ripple across their skin, flashes, waves, and patterns, a vocabulary of light spoken in hues we cannot name. They communicate camouflage and court one another in displays so fluid they seem like dreams made visible. Deeper still swims the vampire squid, a creature of softness and slow motion, living in nearly oxygen-free waters where few others survive. It feeds not by hunting, but by collecting drifting flakes of organic snow, gentle patient gathering in a world of perpetual night. And far larger, the colossal squid moves through Antarctic depths, with eyes the size of dinner plates, vast gleaming orbs designed to sense faint glimmers of bioluminescence in the crushing dark. Its world is one of shadows and silhouettes, and its vision reaches farther than ours ever could. In another corner of the deep barrel-eye fish drift with transparent heads, their upward-facing eyes glowing beneath a dome of clear flesh. Protected from stinging predators, their vision peers through darkness with gentle precision. From here, the dream will continue to expand, drawing ever closer to the vast interconnected truth woven through every living thing. Gently continuing from the last breath of the dream, the story drifts deeper into the quiet places where light fades, pressure rises, and the world takes on shapes we rarely imagine. In the deep sea, anglerfish hover in the dark, their bodies shaped by silence. A small glowing lure hangs before them, a tiny star suspended on a thin filament that sways like a thought. Curious fish approach, drawn by the promise of light, in a realm that knows almost none. Then, in a swift motion, the anglerfish opens its jaws and the darkness folds inward once more. Somewhere nearby, decorator crabs move slowly across the seafloor, their shells adorned with fragments of the world around them, living sponges, pieces of coral, bits of seaweed swaying like soft flags. They stitch the ocean's colors onto themselves, creating camouflaged cloaks that shift and grow as they move. To predators, they become part of the landscape, hidden in plain sight. What appears whimsical is simply survival, expressed through gentle creativity. On shallow reefs, hermit crabs gather around a newly discovered shell and form quiet lines, vacancy chains, waiting for the perfect moment to trade homes. One crab moves into the larger shell, another slips into the shell it vacates, and the line continues, each traveler stepping into a new space at just the right time. It is cooperation shaped by necessity, a soft reminder that nature often chooses collaboration over conflict. Beneath the waves, the mantis shrimp waits, a creature painted in dreamlike colors, its eyes holding more receptors than any other animal we know. The world as it sees it is a shimmering tapestry of ultraviolet polarized beams, hidden patterns and dimensions of light we cannot even imagine. And when it strikes, its limbs move with such speed, they create bubbles that collapse in tiny flashes of heat and sound. It is both beauty and power, a small, vibrant marvel living in the quiet curve of the reef. Farther down, polychaete worms glow green in the twilight water, their bodies leaving trails of luminous dust as they drift. These sparkling threads hang for a moment in the sea like fireflies suspended in slow motion before fading back into the blue-black dark. Along the ocean floor, towering chimneys of metal sulfides rise where scalding vents pour minerals into cold seawater. Black smokers breathe dark plumes, building structures that look like cathedrals of stone and steam. Tube worms stretch upward nearby, their red plumes bright in the otherwise barren dark. Here, in a realm without sunlight, life thrives on chemistry, alone drawing energy from the Earth's interior. A world within a world, older than forests, older than coral reefs, older than memory itself. Even in places where the planet seems too harsh for life, there's always something stirring. Boiling hot springs, their waters swirling in brilliant colors, orange, yellow, green harbor, microscopic organisms that find comfort in heat that would destroy most life. Their enzymes are tuned to fire their bodies, built for extremes, their world one of steam and mineral breath. And near acidic lakes that could dissolve metal, tiny extremophiles survive in a chemistry so harsh it feels more like an alien planet than our own. Their membranes hold firm, their proteins remain stable, and they thrive in conditions where almost nothing else endures. Miles beneath the Earth's surface, deep in ancient rock microbes, live slow, measured lives consuming hydrogen, methane, and other simple molecules. They inhabit cracks no wider than a hair, sustaining themselves at a pace so gradual that their entire life cycles stretch across centuries. An unseen biosphere beneath our feet quietly pulses with persistence. And in the shadows of the deep sea vents, communities flourish on sulfur and heat. Giant clams, pale shrimp, and long-bodied tube worms depend on symbiotic bacteria that convert toxic chemicals into nourishment. These organisms are reminders that the sun is only one source of life, not the only source, not the first. Extremophiles whisper that life may exist everywhere, in ice, in fire, in acid, in darkness, wherever conditions allow the smallest spark to catch. And as your thoughts drift, the story widens once more. High above the water, birds move through the sky not merely as creatures of air, but as living remnants of an ancient world. For birds are dinosaurs, their feathers shaped by evolution long before they ever flew. Their hollow bones, their talons, their fierce eyes all carry the legacy of massive, powerful ancestors. When you see a robin or a hawk, you are watching the continuation of a lineage older than mountains. Along riverbanks, crocodiles bask in sunlight, their bodies hardly changed in more than 200 million years. Their stillness is not idle, it is mastery, the distilled essence of survival. Slow hearts, efficient bodies, patience that feels ancient. They are living fossils resting in the warm shallows. In distant wetlands, lungfish surface for air, carrying both gills and primitive lungs, bridging the quiet space between water and land. Their bodies, echo a time when the first vertebrates began to explore the shore. Their breath, a reminder of the evolutionary journey toward creatures like us. And in the open ocean, whales rise gracefully through the water giants whose ancestors once walked on land. Tiny wolf-like beings slowly transformed over millions of years, limbs reshaping into flippers, spines adapting to buoyancy nostrils, migrating upward to become blowholes. The memory of that transformation lingers in their bones, a quiet blueprint of change. Horses too carry the history of their evolution from small fox-sized creatures with many toes to the powerful single-hoofed beings that run across plains today. Their steps echo the long journey from forests to grasslands, from shadows to open sky. And in the vastness of the sea, blue whales glide the largest animals ever to live. Their hearts beat like slow drums, resonant and deep, pushing life through bodies longer than buses, heavier than buildings. Yet they feed on creatures so small, they drift like dust in the water krill. By the millions, scooped into their great mouths with each gentle sweep. Their songs carry across oceans, low vibrations, felt more than heard, a melancholic music woven into the currents. All around the world, insects carry their own timelines, some unchanged. For hundreds of millions of years, their designs perfected long before humans arrived. Dragonflies once flew through ancient forests with wingspans wider than a person's hands. Cockroaches survived mass extinctions that reshaped the planet. Silverfish scurried across stone in eras long forgotten. They are living echoes of Earth's earliest chapters. Life has endured all things volcanic winters, collapsing ecosystems, 5 mass extinctions that erased nearly everything. Yet each time, life rose again, diversifying, shifting, filling empty spaces with new forms. The resilience of existence flows like a river through every age. In frozen soil of Antarctica, ancient seeds hold fragments of DNA from long-lost forests that once covered the continent. These remnants tell stories of a world that was green before ice claimed it, a memory buried in frost. And within your own body, every cell carries viral genes passed down through countless generations, the remnants of ancient infections woven into the fabric of who you are. Some of these genes are essential to life, now repurposed by evolution, a testament to how the past shapes the present in quiet, unexpected ways. When you breathe the atoms you draw in once belonged to forests, to birds, to dinosaurs, to oceans. Every breath is a meeting, a reunion, a gentle blending of past and present. All life shares the same code, the same 4-letter language of DNA that builds mushrooms and whales, bacteria, and banyan trees, you and everything you have ever loved. A universal poem written in molecules carried across billions of years. And deeper still, woven through all things, is the truth that your body, your bones, your blood were forged in ancient stars. The iron in your veins was born in a supernova. The oxygen you breathe was shaped in stellar cores. The carbon of your cells was once part of the galaxy's drifting dust. You are made of stardust, a quiet universe shaped into human form. And so the dream continues slowly, gently toward its final soft horizon. And the dream carries forward, soft as breath, gentle as starlight stretching across a quiet sky. All the stories of life drift together now, threads of resilience, patterns of adaptation, echoes of deep time gathering like mist into a single slow-moving current. In this drifting tapestry, you may sense how every creature, every forest, every tiny cell is connected by the same ancient pulse. Life does not move in straight lines, but in spirals, in cycles, in quiet returns. Picture for a moment a grove of tall trees at dusk. Their roots reach deep into the soil, touching threads of mycelium that connect them to one another. Through these networks, they exchange nutrients, signals, warnings, a living whisper beneath the forest floor. One tree shaded by taller neighbors may receive a little extra sugar from others farther in the light. Another may send chemical messages when insects begin to chew its leaves, alerting its companions to prepare the defenses. The forest breathes as one, a community bound in silence. Just a few steps away, moss cushions the earth in soft green carpets. Tiny stalks lift capsules toward the air, releasing spores that drift like fine dust on gentle breezes. Their world is small, yet within it are stories of survival, older than flowers, older than leaves. Across harsh cliffs and mountain slopes, lichens claim the most unforgiving places: bare stone, frozen tundra, windswept peaks. They cling in patches of gray, yellow, orange, their bodies made of two lives fused into one. Fungus offers shelter, algae offers nourishment, and together they stand where nothing else can. Over centuries, they break stone into soil, preparing the world for the plants that will follow. In meadows touched by dew, butterflies warm their wings in the first light of morning. Their migrations stretch for thousands of kilometers, guided by sunlight magnetism and a sense of direction woven into their bodies in ways we barely understand. The monarchs that flutter north in spring are not the same ones that return south in autumn. Generations pass mid-journey, yet the path remains unbroken, an inherited memory written in delicate wings. Nearby, bees drift among flowers in their gentle, purposeful hum. Some see colors we cannot perceive, patterns that glow in ultraviolet, guiding them to nectar with soft illumination. The buzz of their wings vibrates pollen loose, allowing flowers to share their life with the world around them. In each hive, thousands of individuals work together in harmony. Nurses, foragers, guards, all moving with the same quiet devotion to a single fragile queen. As the sun arcs high above forests and fields, some plants shape their days around light itself. Sunflowers turn their faces from dawn to dusk, following the warm arc of the sky like slow dancers. Their stems adjust their leaves, shift their internal clocks, mirroring the rhythm of daylight. When night returns, the youngest blooms turn back east, ready to greet the next morning's glow. Other plants count touches to decide when to act. The Venus flytrap waits patiently, its sensitive hairs tuned to movement. One touch is not enough, it needs two within a narrow window of time. Only then do its leaves swing shut in a swift, graceful motion. This simple counting is a kind of memory, a small reminder that intelligence can exist in forms far different from our own. In the warmth of tropical forests, bromeliads, cradle small pools within their leaves, tiny aquariums that house insects, tadpoles, and other small lives. Each cup of water becomes a microcosm, a world shaped by rain and leaf. Further down in the undergrowth, the roots of fig trees grasp the earth in thick winding columns. Some begin life as seeds dropped by birds high in the branches of other trees. From there, their roots grow downward, slowly enveloping their host until the original trunk is surrounded by new life. When the center decays, a hollow cathedral remains, light filtering through woven roots into the quiet space below. Among the ferns and shadows, fungal blooms rise after rain, their fruiting bodies emerging like lanterns from the damp soil. Some glow faintly at night, bioluminescent caps that shine with soft green light, drawing insects that help spread the spores. Whole forests become dotted with tiny points of luminescence like stars fallen to earth. In deserts where rain is rare, cacti store water within their thick flesh, their spines casting tiny shadows that cool their surface. They bloom suddenly after storms, bursts of color that attract pollinators before fading again into quiet patience. Along the coast, mangrove trees anchor themselves in brackish marshes with tangled stilt-like roots. These roots act like filters, letting fresh water pass while holding back salt. Whole nurseries of fish hide within the underwater maze, protected by the embrace of the mangrove forest. Where land meets, sea grasses sway in tidal currents. Salt marshes, rich with life, soft in the glow of setting sun. They cradle migrating birds, shellfish crabs, and small fish that slip in and out with each gentle tide. And along the shelves of continents, coral reefs rise slowly, layer upon layer, built by small polyps that form vast underwater cities. Their colors shimmer in sunlight, violets, blues, yellows, alive with the motion of fish crabs, sharks, and rays. These reefs are fragile yet extraordinary, their beauty, a reminder of the delicate balance that keeps the ocean vibrant. Far out in the open sea, currents carry microscopic plankton in drifts like clouds. Despite their tiny size, they feed entire food webs: whales, fish, jellyfish. They also release oxygen into the air, filling the atmosphere with the breath of life. Half the oxygen you take in comes from these drifting, unseen beings. Deeper down, kelp forests sway with the surge of the tide blades, stretching upward like underwater trees. Sea otters weave among them, wrapping themselves in fronds as they sleep to keep from floating away. The kelp provides shelter for countless creatures, its rhythmic motion soothing and gentle. In colder waters, giant isopods walk across the deep sea floor like quiet pilgrims, pale armored, slow-moving beings, perfectly adapted to the crushing pressure and near-freezing temperatures. They feed on fallen debris, part of the ocean's long cycle of renewal and decay. And in the sky above, all these clouds drift formed from water that once coursed through rivers, hid in seeds, fell as snow on mountains, rose as mist from oceans. They move with the wind, carrying the memory of the world in each suspended droplet. Even storms with their rumbling hearts and flashing veins return water to the earth, so rivers may flow and forests may grow again. there is harmony in every cycle, in every return. All of these wonders, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, are shaped by the same deep forces: adaptation, cooperation, change, and the quiet persistence of life. And as you drift deeper into this unfolding dream, you may sense that the story of life is not merely a collection of facts, but a continuous, gentle movement that began billions of years ago and still flows through you with every breath you take. Once, and as the dream drifts onward, the world softens into wider horizons, where all the threads we have followed begin to weave themselves into a single long breath of Earth's memory. You may imagine yourself standing at the edge of a landscape shaped by time, not by years or decades, but by ages so vast they feel like deep, slow ocean tides moving beneath the continents themselves. Around you, the world seems to whisper the stories of everything that has ever lived. In the hush of that moment, you could picture the earliest forests, those ancient groves of towering ferns and strange, giant insects that once fluttered through heavy, humid air. Dragonflies the size of ravens glided over still ponds, their wings catching the young sun as shimmering lace. They were among the first aerial wanderers, their design so perfect that modern dragonflies echo their ancient form with little change. It is as though time looked upon them and decided there was little to improve. Nearby, primitive plants released spores into the warm breeze, dusting the air with new beginnings. The very first seeds slept beneath the soil long before mammals walked the earth, long before the continents settled into the shapes we recognize on maps. Today, some of these seeds, preserved in ice and permafrost, still hold fragments of life, tiny vaults of ancient DNA like whispers from forests long gone. And slowly across millions of years, the forests changed. Trees rose like pillars, their roots reaching deeper, their leaves widening into canopies that sheltered whole worlds beneath them. Birdsong filled the air, the voices of creatures whose ancestors were once dinosaurs, feathered beings who took to the skies and never looked back. Each robin, each sparrow, each eagle carries that lineage in its bones, a quiet echo of ancient thunder, now transformed into delicate flight. Across a riverbank, you might see a crocodile resting half submerged, still as stone. These reptiles have watched the rise and fall of empires of life, remaining nearly unchanged for over 200 million years. Patience is their strength, a slow heart, a slowed metabolism, a body shaped for endurance. When you look at a crocodile, you are looking into the face of deep time. Along those same banks, you might glimpse a creature that belongs to two worlds, a fish breathing with both gills and lungs, remembering the evolutionary moment when life first stepped onto land. Lungfish, with their ancient physiology, hint at that transition from water to soil, from fins to limbs. Their quiet persistence is like a living page from a book billions of years old. In the shallows, a shimmering wave breaks, and for a moment, you can almost see the ancestors of whales, wolf-like beings, prowling the shores of long-vanished seas. From those hesitant steps into water, came the giants of today, blue whales larger than any creature that ever lived, singing songs that travel hundreds of kilometers through the dark ocean. Their immense bodies are carried by flukes that evolved from ancient legs, turning footsteps into tides and motion into melody. A little farther inland, you step onto soft earth carpeted with grass. This quiet landscape, so familiar, so gentle, is the result of countless fires sweeping across plains. Some grasses hide their growing points deep underground, ready to sprout anew after flames pass. In the blackened soil, green shoots appear like hope itself, reminding us that renewal is written into the heart of the land. Beyond the grasslands, mountains rise ranges carved by glaciers, shaped by winds, etched by rivers that have flowed since ancient times. Even here, in the coldest places, life persists. Simple organisms lie dormant within ice for thousands of years, waiting patiently until warmth returns. Seeds sleep beneath the snow, holding the memory of an earth once warmer, once covered in forests that swayed beneath southern stars. And when the ice melts, rivers flow again, clear waters carrying atoms that have cycled through countless beings. The breath you exhale now may once have been part of a pine tree clinging to a mountainside, or a whale diving deep beneath Antarctic seas, or a dinosaur lifting its head to taste the wind millions of years ago. Every breath is a continuation of their breath. Every inhale is part of the long rhythm shared by all life. As rivers wind onward, feeding lakes and marshes, you might meet creatures whose survival defies expectation. Some fish weather winters without oxygen, producing ethanol in their cells instead of lactic acid, a strange quiet alchemy that keeps them alive beneath frozen surfaces. Others burrow into mud, sealing themselves in cocoons to wait out drought for months, years, even decades. And then there are the eels, mysterious travelers that cross entire oceans to spawn in a single hidden sea. Their journey is one scientists have spent centuries tracing, yet still cannot fully witness. They begin in rivers and lakes, grow in the quiet waters of continents, then feel an unmistakable pull to the Sargasso Sea, where they return to the place their ancestors knew generation after generation. All the while, in the humid air of tropical forests, another world unfolds on every branch. Parrotfish spin cocoons of silk, each night thick enough to mask their scent from predators as they sleep. Tree frogs carry their tadpoles to tiny pools high in the canopy, caretakers of miniature ponds. Glass frogs lie flat on leaves, their translucent bodies revealing hearts beating in plain sight, living reminders of how delicate and open life can be. And deeper still, in these forests, in the dim understory, night blooms in strange shapes. Orchids mimic insects, borrowing their appearances and their scents to entice pollinators. Titan arums rise in brief dramatic bursts, the towering blooms releasing scent so powerful it carries through the forest like a signal flare in the dark. These rare blossoms are moments of spectacle in the slow rhythm of the rainforest. Across the world, in deserts where water is scarce, horned lizards stand motionless against red sand, blending into the landscape with thorny armor. If threatened, They employ a strange defense, a sudden spray of blood from the corners of their eyes, startling predators long enough to escape. It is a vivid, unusual adaptation, one shaped by the unforgiving heat and shifting shadows of arid lands. Nearby, basilisk lizards run across water with quick, frantic strides, leaving ripples behind like fleeting footprints. And above them, snakes glide from tree to tree, their bodies flattening into living ribbons that ride the warm forest air with quiet grace. In the same world, Komodo dragons stalk through brush with slow, deliberate steps, their venom aiding the hunt in ways once misunderstood. Crocodiles lie low in water, slowing their hearts and waiting with patience older than the continents. Electric eels pulse through rivers, their bodies humming with the quiet charge of lightning. Other fish speak in electrical signals, messages flowing invisibly through currents and shadows. These wonders continue as the land meets the edge of the sea, where coastal forests give way to lagoons, reefs, and the deep blue expands beyond. Hermit crabs trade shells in orderly chains, each waiting for the next to take the home it has outgrown. Decorator crabs wear pieces of the reef as camouflage, turning themselves into walking gardens. Farther out, squid shimmer with changing colors, their skin rippling with signals we are only beginning to understand. Anglerfish drift in the abyss, their lanterns glowing softly, luring prey in darkness so complete it feels like another world. Barrel-eye fish gaze upward through transparent heads, their eyes shielded from the sting of drifting tentacles. And beyond even these, in the deepest waters of all colossal squids, glide silently their eyes as large as dinner plates, catching the faintest glimmers of life in the black. Vampire squids drift like shadows, feeding on falling particles in oxygen-starved depths. Here, in the stillness of the abyss, hydrothermal vents rise like chimneys, pouring out mineral-rich water that feeds entire ecosystems without a single ray of sunlight. Microbes harness chemical energy, transforming sulfur into nourishment. Tube worms and crustaceans gather in thick clusters, their lives rooted in heat and chemistry instead of light. And above these depths, far deeper than any roots or reefs, Earth's crust fractures, revealing chambers where microscopic life persists in total darkness. These microbes breathe metal, consume rock, and may live for centuries, carrying the endurance of Earth in their tiny cells. But even in the smallest places, life's creativity continues. Bacteria digest plastic, reshaping the remnants of our civilization. Extremophiles thrive in acid lakes, boiling springs, frozen deserts, and radioactive ruins. They remind us that life will always find a way not just to survive, but to flourish. And as this dream of Earth reaches its final moments, you may notice a deeper, quieter truth beneath all these stories. All life shares the same code. From oak trees to jellyfish, from insects to humans, from bacteria to whales, everything is written in the same 4 letters of DNA. This unity binds us in ways both visible and unseen. It reveals that every creature is part of the same great family, woven from the same ancient spark billions of years ago. Even the atoms that form you, the calcium in your bones, the carbon in your cells, the iron in your blood, were forged in stars that lived and died long before Earth was born. Their explosions seeded the galaxy with elements that later gathered into oceans, mountains, forests, and living beings. You are part of that story, a continuation of starlight taking form in a new way. And now, as the night grows deeper and your breath grows slower, you may feel that connection in the softness around you. The rhythm of your heartbeat echoes ancient tides. The warmth in your body was once the fire of stars. Your life is a thread in a tapestry older than memory, stretching backward into the dawn of time and forward into dreams yet unwritten. If your eyes feel heavy now, you can let them close. Let the calm gather around you like soft waves returning to shore. There is nothing more required of you. You are part of this planet's story, held gently by the same forces that cradle every creature, every forest, every ocean. You belong to the long, quiet lineage of life on Earth, resilient, ancient, and profoundly interconnected. So rest, now carried by the memory of stars, the patience of mountains, and the quiet pulse of oceans that have always known how to hold the world in balance. Sleep peacefully, dream softly, and remember, you carry within you the story of Earth, the story of life, the story of the universe itself. Good night.